Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian, and today we're going to be talking about bass lines with added open notes. Now, when you add the open notes, it gives you the opportunity to play these large intervals that will be nearly impossible to play if you had to play it all at once. Not only that, there's a lot more advantages to that, and I'll show you how it works and what to do and what not to do, and I'll give you some great examples, and you tell me what you think. Okay, what was that? That was an A minor 7. It's that simple, an A minor 7th. And normally, how would you play an A minor 7th for bass line? Maybe something like this. Let's try another one. This one is going to be an F. And so what we're doing here, we're using the F on the 8th fret and the octave of the F on the 10th fret, and we're using the A on the open note. So all we have here is the root, the 3rd, and the flat 7th. There's no 5th. Here it is at tempo. Okay, let's go over the theory of this line. So we are playing an octave, 8th and 10th fret. So what we have going on here is a sequence, and it is a 4/8 note sequence. The first 8th note is a slap, second 8th note is a pop, and then the third 8th note is a slap, and the fourth 8th note is a hammer-on, and then a pop. So you have So another way to look at it is we're playing a slap, a pop, a slap, a hammer. Slap, pop, slap, hammer. And then we just play it. And we change the rhythm a little on the second measure by putting a rest on the first 8th, which displaces the line by an 8th, and it makes it sound different for the second measure, creating a 2-bar phrase, which is nice. On this line, there's some nice features. First of all, I'd like to talk about, it is 2 octaves. It is a 2-octave line. A root and then up an octave. Then it goes to another octave lower, which gives us a distance of 2 octaves. And then we go to the 5th and play an octave that way too. And just that part of the line alone you could work with. And that's just the root and 5th. And like I said, you have a range of 2 octaves from the open E to the next E up on the 7th fret of the A string, and then one more E on the 9th fret of the G string. So, but let me finish the line up. So, and then we go down and play the lower octave up to the 3rd in an octave. And that will be the first measure. Now we're going to start the second measure playing from the third, and the last note we're going to pop the seventh on the G string, 7th fret. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I ask you might subscribe. And I'd like to remind you, if you're looking for private lessons online, I'm doing that. And I have to mention that studying privately with an experienced teacher gives you the option of him to observe what you're doing and what you need and how to correct mistakes. YouTube is also a wonderful place to learn. Students that come to me and they say, what's going on in this video? Can you help me understand it? And I would help them naturally, but I'll put a link in the description below. If you're interested, you can call me or email me, and I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, play your bass as much as you can every day.